Hello everyone, and welcome to One Shot Resume. In this first chapter here, I want to talk about resume format. We are looking to make a very clean, easy to read format for our managers. We want to be able to direct their eyes to where we want it to go so that we can show them the information that they're looking for in a very quick and easy fashion. And the way that we begin to do that is by using a very easy to read font. This is Arial, and we start with your name at the top, and notice that this is not capitalized all the way through and that it is bolded. Okay, and then we put his phone number right here, Andrew's phone number, and if you have two you can put the other one there. And then we use an email address right here. And a word about the email address, use a non-political, non-religious, virtually non-everything email address. You just want to use your name and perhaps some numbers because you have to with Gmail. When you put in the city and the state, don't include your address for security reasons. You just want to put the city-state right there. So here we have a professional summary. Not a career objective, it's a professional summary, and this is where we are going to begin selling the manager on who you are professionally. This is the idea here is to paint a picture of who you are professionally, to sell your skills and experiences that are important to the manager. Notice that we use bullets, and we want to use very short lines right here, just one thought per bullet. And we don't want a real long line going way out here. We just want a very short statement, and you want to use these first three right here every time. And so we have number of years experience overall, and we have number of years of industry experience, and we have the number of years in the target position that you're trying to get to. These next three right here, this is about the job ad, if you have that, or the job order, if you will, the requirements of the position that a company will advertise. And I will be talking a lot more about that in a later chapter, in later chapters actually. And then down here we have pertinent certifications and training that might come along as far as the job goes itself. Let me fill this in up here just to give you an idea real quick. I've already got one typed out. So Andrew here is going to be a senior technical recruiter, and he has 24 years of experience overall. 16 years of that is in the recruiting industry, and 14 years of technical recruiting experience. And notice that he's looking to be a technical recruiter at this next role that he's targeting, and he's put that right here also. And additionally, we've added full lifecycle recruiting experience and corporate recruiting experience along with client development. Next, we want to add in the education, and notice that this is bolded here also, as well as this is. This is 10 point, by the way, and Andrew up here was 16 point. You want to put the last education first, as we have right here. So what the degree is in, where he was, and then the date that you graduated out here, or the date that you last went. And if you didn't finish it, of course you would put right here pursuing a MSEE degree. And then next you want to have training and certifications, again bolded, and then technical skills right here. And by technical skills, let me add a word to this. These are any tools that you use to accomplish your job, any tools or technologies required for your trade or your position. It could be software, as it is in this, for instance, machines, perhaps you're a machinist, so specific machines that you are experienced on. If you were a mechanic, you might want to use some of the machines that you've been trained on for tuning cars or whatnot. In Andrew's case here, we might even put up front here what some of the databases that he's used that are known in the industry for recruiting. So the next line right here is where we start with the companies, his experience. So at Forex Incorporated, he was a senior technical recruiter, and over here you want to put a month and a year, and then to present in this, for instance. And notice the use of white space in here. This really sets apart that he was a senior technical recruiter. So by the time you've glanced at this, you have seen senior technical recruiter up here once, twice, and 3 times, and that's what we want to do. Next is a short line on who Forex Incorporated is, and that's just you want to have that in there in case somebody doesn't know who your company is and what they do. So in Andrew's case, he had 2 roles. He's been here for quite a while. He's been there since '97, and he had 2 roles. First as a senior recruiter from 2002 to present, and then as a recruiter down here from '97 to 2002. And the way we denoted that is by just having this underlined right here with his title, his position title, and the amount of tenure right here, 2002 to present. And then another 1 line just saying as a summary what that role included. And we did that down here also. Now, right through here is the body of the resume, if you will. And notice that this has been bulletized, and it means to have 1 thought per bullet, 1 idea as best you can that's selling you or explaining what your experience has been. And it's okay down here to have more than 1 line per bullet. As I say right here, more than 1 line per bullet is okay here. As opposed to up here, you want to have these very short and succinct. And down here, you just want to make sure that you bulletize them so that it makes it much easier to read and get 1 thought per line. And it's okay if you have a whole bunch of these. Now also, what we want to have here, this is the first 5 years of his experience, and we want to emphasize the first 5 years. And then when we get down past that, we don't want to have nearly as much real estate, if you will, on your resume committed to your experience that gets to be 10 or 15 years old, because it's just not as important as the last 5 years. Notice down here at Next Company, Andrew was a contract recruiter. Now up here it's implied that he was a permanent employee, but down here he was actually a contractor. And you really want to be cognizant of doing that, particularly if these times out here are short times. Now he was here for a year, which isn't that short necessarily, but you know, if you have 3 months experience here, 9 months, 6 months, and you have a number of companies like this down underneath here, and you were a contractor, you definitely want to put that there so it's people understand those were contracts or consulting engagements and not permanent employment. And then the last thing we put on here is his professional affiliations, Recruiters of America from 2000 to present. So let me go to a summary here, if I may. Actually, it's right here. Here we go. So we want a clean and easy to read, easier to glance at resume, because we want to be able to direct eyes to where we want them to go, which will be at the information that a manager wants to know. And we do that by using an easy read font, Arial. We want to use non-political, non-religious, non-everything email, just your name and perhaps numbers. And you want to omit the address for security reasons. Just use the city and state. Now we use a professional summary, not a career objective. And we're using that to paint a picture of who you are professionally, to sell your skills and experience that are important to the manager. And we use bullets, and we use only 1 line per bullet, and the shorter the better. And we definitely want to use this order: number of years of experience, overall, industry experience, and number of years in the target position that you have experience in. And we will be going over this a lot more later. If it doesn't make a lot of sense right now how that applies to you, I'll be giving you many more examples. And of course, down here is the job highlights, or skills or requirements that the job had in it that we want to bring out, and pertinent certifications and training. And then we put education next under the summary. Certifications and trainings was next after that. And we use technical skills and a tool summary. Now remember, again, these are any tools you use to accomplish your job. Any tools or technology required for your trade or your position. We organized the resume in reverse chronological order. We started with your first job first, your last job first, excuse me, and then going in reverse chronological order. You want to concentrate on the last 5 years, but include all your experience. Some of the experience that's 10, 15 years old might just be one line like this, and then this line, and then maybe just say, hey, senior recruiter, and you provided that right there. And that's all you'd say about it, because it's way back, and that's not what we want to emphasize. We use a bold case and underline for the company line right here. We use white space on both sides so that it's very clear and easy to see who you are. Remember, this is all about giving somebody who has 20 seconds to look at this just to bring them in to want to read the rest of it. Now, if your role was contract, you want to include that in your title. And we use indented and underline for multiple roles at the same company. That way somebody's not left to guess if this is over here. Is this a new company? Was this a different role? You want to use bullets in the body where multiple lines are okay. We've done that. And then I left something up here on purpose. You definitely want to use spell check. Bulletize is not actually a word. So you want to make sure that you get things like that out of your resume. Okay, that's it for the first part on just formatting and a template to follow. We'll be talking more in the next chapters about how to use this professional summary to sell yourself, and where to get the information and how to interpret it that the manager wants to see.